This episode is brought to you by Virgin Voyages.
Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys.
Well, hello and welcome to Crappy Hour. This is Monday, November 17th. I'm Ronnie, and that's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Good. How are you? How's everything going today?
It's going so well. It's like I feel like everything for the past 4 days was like a fever dream. Did any of that really happen? How are you feeling?
Yes. We just got back from BravoCon, a 4-day whirlwind through that fever dream. My God, that was crazy. We had a really good time. But of course, probably like everybody who came back today, we are wrecked. We are busted. I'm spent. I need rehab. I need therapy. It was a lot more. This time we were on a panel. We did the Next Gen NYC panel, which was the final panel of the whole weekend. And it was fun. You know, it was cool talking to the kids and stuff like that and getting to do our first panel. But we also got to get a lot closer to a lot of the people on Bravo than I was expecting. And we really didn't even have to go up to some of these people and say anything. I was surprised how many of them listened to the show. And I think one of the things I heard the most this weekend was the phrase, "Why do you hate me?" It was a lot of that. It was a lot of soothing nerves and then promising to still diss your ass tomorrow, which you know is what's going to happen because that's us, you know. But it was great. How'd you feel about the whole thing?
Oh my God, I had the best time. My first BravoCon. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't understand the lay of the land. It was just sort of like a whirlwind of Bravo stars. We also had our friends who were podcasters or content creators that were there. And so it was like this, there's so much was going on. We did some radio shows and it was we threw a party, we threw a dinner. It was like it was so much. And I loved it. I loved every ounce of it. And like you said, what was actually so funny was that like I was like a little slightly apprehensive that some Bravo stars would come up to me and be like angry at us. But what would happen was that we got a lot of people who were like, "I know you hate me, but I think you're really funny." And it was almost like they were scared of us. It's like that nature thing, like when you see an animal, like you see a bee and your mom says, "It's more scared of you than you are of it." That's kind of how I felt about the Bravo stars sometimes.
Yeah, it was weird. I figured people who were meaner to, you know, like the Emily Simpsons and the Joaos, you know, people like that, I figured would just avoid us like the plague. But they didn't. They came right up and they were like, well, you know, they kind of stated their case. So there was a lot of that. And then there was a lot of promising, like, you know, my reaction was basically like, look, this is a comedy show. It's not made for you guys. We're making fun of you. You could be perfect and we're still going to rag on your ass and we're still going to rag on your ass tomorrow. But nice to meet you, you know, hugs. But it was really cool meeting so many people. So thank you to everybody over there who was so kind to us. But beyond the Bravo celebrities and stuff, it was so great to meet so many of you. We had a big meetup. We had like 350 people there and that was super fun. So we hugged a lot of you guys, which was great. And the best part of the whole weekend was, you know, for us, this is like when you go to a work conference and you see all the people that you work with or that you work in the same field as. And so we got to hang out with some of our besties in there. You know, Ryan was there, Ryan Bailey was there, Danny Pellegrino, Michelle Collins, Brian, what's his buns from Vulture? I'm sorry,
Moylan.
I'm just old. Brian Moylan, the two Judgey girls, obviously Courtney and Mary, and then Ceci and Angela, who we love. We went to a Bravo creator meetup the first night hosted by the Prima Donald. So thanks for letting us into that one.
Gibson
and
Johns.
met so many creators there, and it was really fun. But to break this all down, Ben and I, you know, can talk for hours, and we probably will all week. But we wanted to bring our friends on to talk about it with us, because what better way to discuss it than with friends? Am I right? So let's welcome to the stage the two judgiest Judgey girls, Mary and Courtney from Two Judgey Girls.
Hello,
Hi,
friends.
guys. Hi. Oh my God, this is so
Welcome.
fun. I love that
Yes, thanks
everyone
for
has like a
doing
bit
this.
of a hoarse voice right now because
Yeah.
it's like Mary and I were laughing yesterday. We got in a cab and we're like, yeah, we're off to do some interviews. And the guy's like, you want to practice on me? And I said, not to be rude, I don't. I'm trying to conserve my voice. And then he just talked the whole time. And I was like, this went the opposite direction. But I think a hoarse voice is an indication of a strong weekend.
For sure.
Yeah, I woke up like every morning sounding like B. Arthur. It was really insane. It was like, hello there. Because it's really because there's so much at their parties and there's music playing and you're just shouting and you don't realize how much you're shouting until you get home and you do sound like Lisa Barlow. I love that. Mary, how are you holding up?
I mean, you guys all flew out this morning. I got to fly out last night, so I feel like I'm maybe like a day ahead of you.
Okay.
You know,
You got a little rest. Yeah, but you also have a newborn.
I didn't
so-
get it. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
To
I was
a
gonna
baby.
Say, I don't you had a day ahead, but you had to go back to like full-time mothering. So I don't know that you had it easier.
Mary,
than
what do you
us.
prefer, waking up next to me or waking up next to your baby?
Waking up in the
That's
morning.
really a trade-off.
I will say I woke up every morning. I was like, what is that noise? I'm like, oh my God, she's pumping.
Yeah.
Like,
What is
great
that?
I was like,
sign,
this is just
Lisa.
our new normal now. And I kind of love it. Like, it's great.
Is it like an electric machine that's just like bloop, 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 bloop? Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, it's disgusting.
I love it. I'm gonna get one. Okay, so what are your general thoughts? Like, how did the weekend go for you? Who should we talk about, like who we met or stories? How do you guys want to do it?
Yeah. I mean, overall, I thought that the weekend, like I said, I didn't know what to expect on it. I thought I'm a grateful exhausted. I thought it was so amazing. There were so many people, like you guys said, we had so many Bravo celebrities we met, so many fans. And you guys were saying in the beginning, like you were worried about people, like they were going to, like if they were going to talk to you or not, because they were feeling mean. I felt like all the Bravo celebrities were very gracious throughout the weekend. Now, granted, I think they should probably just be nice in general, but they didn't have to be as nice as they were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's how I felt too. I was shocked, actually. I was expecting to get slapped. What kind of gossip did you hear from people over there? I'll start. I heard the two pieces that I heard from multiple people. This isn't like huge gossip, but just the general vibe of people is that Whitney from Salt Lake City was just shit-faced the entire weekend. I didn't hear from anyone who said that woman was sober even for 5 minutes. So she apparently made an ass out of herself all weekend, which I felt kind of bad for her. Like, it's not surprising, but Ben and I were talking about how, you wait until Heather's mad at you because that will be your storyline. She will
That's
have you
the
be
thing.
the alcoholic.
Yeah,
No.
I witnessed it firsthand. I witnessed Whitney Rose drunk firsthand. I landed my flight in from LA. I landed at the exact same time, and I know I've told like many people. I really bragged about this a lot over the weekend. I was like, guys, my flight landed at the same time as the
This
Salt
is your
Lake City
claim
flight.
to fame of the weekend.
This is my. I'm like, guys, I have said it a lot, but for people who haven't heard, like literally, if you guys saw on Instagram, there was these videos of Britney singing on a plane and all that. That flight landed at the same time as my flight, and I like walked off at the same time. I walked into the airport as Britney was walking in. I was like, oh my God. That was the first of about 5 different times I met Britney over the weekend, and each time she didn't remember. She's like, hi, how are you?
And did
I was
she
like,
have
"That's
the
Ben from
unicorn
Watch
each
What
time?
Crappens." I think she had the unicorn 4
She
out of 5
carried that
times.
thing the whole trip.
It's
For
like,
sure.
you know, we got it, Britt. Like, it's not the bunny.
Yeah. So Ben saw
So-
them.
Yeah, and so I encountered Whitney and Heather. I went to the bathroom. When I came out of the bathroom, Whitney and Heather were coming out of the bathroom at the exact same time, and Heather was just kind of like propping up Whitney. Whitney was not like, she wasn't gonna like fall over, but she was like unsteady enough that like Heather just sort of had an arm around her. And so I said hi to Heather. I was like, hey Heather, it's Ben from Watch Your Crap, and she goes, I know who you are, Ben Mandelker. How are you?
First
and so I
and
talked to her.
last name.
Yeah, she said the full name. Yeah. But Whitney, I told them both, I was like, oh, we're having a party on Saturday night. That was when I still had an illusion that any Bravo celebrity would ever come to our party instead of like hanging out at the Four Seasons. So Whitney was like, DM me. And she was so drunk. And she like grabbed my arms and goes, I'm coming. DM me. And I was like, okay. And I DM'd her. She never even read it. God bless.
It's the thought that counts.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So Heather told Ben something like, well, I guess Ronnie's not going to gamble with me next time, because we got into like a little thing where she wanted us to change a nomination because she didn't like Monica was nominated for the Crappies. So whatever, we got in some stupid spat. But to me, it's not a spat. She just got mad at us or whatever. And I figured, that would blow over. So I saw her and I was like, okay, I'll go make peace. So I went up to her and I said hi. And I said, Ben said you hated me. And I don't hate
Which
you.
I never said.
By the way,
I never
didn't say that.
said that.
I was paraphrasing. I was taking the general idea. And she said, no, I didn't say that. I just said you wouldn't gamble with me anymore. And I said, no, I'll still gamble with you, but you need to pick a less stupid game. Because she plays, I think she likes Pai Gow, which is really hard. It's like really hard to learn the rules to this game. I lost so much money. And I was like, this is stupid. Let's just make peace. So we made peace and hugged, but then she walked away really fast. And I was like, I don't know if we meant that, but it felt good because I don't like being in stupid spats, especially with, I don't know, someone on the TV.
Right.
They're characters to us. I know they're real people,
characters.
but like,
it feels weird. So what about yours? Who did you guys see?
I just want to say, I think it's okay. I just one last button on this, because they were the ones who suggested that we should, like Heather was the one who said we should do a picture. So like that felt like
you were there,
it was
celeb.
okay.
My interaction was very positive with her. So maybe she was concerned about where she stood with you. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think we'll just see. We'll see. But
I
for
felt
people who are like,
okay.
it's the feud. Yeah, I think when people are like, it's the feud over, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
It's not really even a feud, and it's stupid that I even said anything about it. The only reason I even said anything in the first place was because she unfollowed us both, and so people noticed and were asking. And I was on here one night, and of course, opened my big mouth. I was like, "Oh, shut up, Heather!" I did that whole thing, but I wouldn't have even mentioned it. And it's just stupid to have a spat, and I don't like these bloggers spatting with everybody anyway, and I don't want to be one of them. So I was like, let's just make up. I feel fine, even if she still hates me. Who cares? She's a lady on my TV. So how about you guys? What were your personal interactions like?
I mean, my goal of the weekend was to have a sig with Lou. That was literally, I put it out in the universe, and I did get to interview her on the like creator carpet on Sunday. And I didn't have a sig on me, but I mean, we did a fake like.
So that counts again,
a win.
Yeah.
I ran into Shep twice, and the first time he gave me a hug, and I've hung out with him in San Francisco, and I was like, I don't know if he knew who I was. And then I got deeply offended that he didn't know who I was. And I was unsure if he knew who I was.
To be fair, Mary, give like where it was happening. That him and Austin had just done a panel on that outside stage, and they came down to take pictures with people, and there were like hundreds of girls trying to take their photos. Mary had like big sunglasses on. And so I think she said something and it didn't register with him. It wasn't till like that he didn't remember her. I think he just was like glossed over. So I didn't want her to be
it made me feel forgettable. And then luckily I ran into him. Luckily I ran into him in the hallway, and I was like, I don't think you know who I was yesterday.
Redemption.
You don't think you know who I was yesterday.
No, I remember. And he's like, and you posted a bad photo of me. And then we took a photo, and Courtney got it where my eyes are closed, and she posted that photo, which he reposted. So
he looked good in it, though.
That was a win.
Fair, I did realize it is a live photo, because when I posted our recap of the people that we met, it did show your eyes open. So I'll change it, Mary. I'll make sure that you have it. I will apologize. I had 1 second to take it. It was like, no pictures. And I'm like, no, wait.
Someone just put CSBS, put those poor Bravo lebs. I mean, just
this is the best moment, this is the best moment of their lives.
But we're
I
all
feel
there
sad when I see
converging
people
on these
commenting.
people.
Yeah.
We're converging on these people. We all talk shit in some way, shape, or form. And then we get there and we're like, hi. And we're like, oh.
Well, I feel bad because I think that,
well, I wonder why. You know?
Haven't you seen the people posting like, oh, so and so brushed me off, or like so and so was rude to me?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think they're not trying to be. And this is not me defending Bravo celebrities, but we've seen some of their schedules for the weekend. Like they are literally go, go, go. And I'm like, I feel like people are finding them just at the time where they're like disassociating. Because I will tell you, at one point, I was standing there at the end of the day and I was like, the lights are on. Nobody is home right now. Like you, Ronnie, even yesterday, you said, you need to go take a nap. It's like, I do. Like,
yeah, we were like, hey, let's have an end of trip dinner. And you're like, yeah, I can't wait. Let's just go hang out and just relax. I said, do you have nap face? You need to get your ass to a bed because, and I did too. We did have dinner. We had like a casual dinner and then just crashed out.
Well, you don't know what happened afterwards, Ronnie, which is that, so Ronnie and I went and had dinner with Aisha and Hannah from Below Deck, as well as our friend Kimberly. And we're just gonna have like a nice chill, relaxing dinner, wind down, share some stories, just easy. And that's what we did. It was like just nice. It was lovely. It was just a lovely way to spend like Sunday night. And then we were like, when we walked into the casino, into Mandalay Bay. And then we're like, Aisha and some of her friends came to meet up. And then like we sort of like split. Some people went to go gamble. And then the rest of us went, there was like a little bar to go, well, like, let's get a drink. And this bar had a dance floor. And then all of a sudden, Asia's like, oh, yes, this is my jam. And next thing you know, we're on the dance floor. Aisha is like twerking on me. And I'm like, wait, how am I on a dance floor right now? This is crazy. And then I was like, well, let me see what time my flight is tomorrow. I was like, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm suddenly dancing on my chill night. What is going on? And I was like, I have to go. And I like chugged my drink. And I was like, bye, Aisha. Bye, everyone. I didn't even say bye. I didn't know where you were, Ronnie. I was like, I'm going home. But I just want to let you know, Ronnie.
For 10 minutes, and I came back in there, and I was like, "Oh hell no! Why would they go in there?" It was like a dinner cruise. Everybody in their like weird skirts dancing to like Brick House. I was like, "Get me out of here!"
All the Raiders fans had converged.
A Sunday in Vegas is always scary. Like you don't want to be there on the Sunday.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, because there was like a fan, I guess in Vegas what happens is that with all the conventions and events, there's always like this turnover. So like all weekend long, it's like people in t-shirts that have Countess Luann's face on. It's like Countess Luann, clip, all these phrases. And then all of a sudden Sunday afternoon, it's just like a sea of Raiders fans because Monday Night Football is
Cowboys. And it was Cowboys.
Yeah. So you had this strange like pivot to football. And I was like, I don't know if I can deal with this right now. Mm-hmm. And I say this as someone who likes football.
Yeah. The other thing I heard consistently was that Rachel Zoe wasn't very nice to people. Not us, but the other Bravo lebs were saying that.
Really?
I don't know if any of us met her. I saw her pass by, but I didn't say anything to her. But I've heard that. I heard that Whitney was wasted.
I can also
asking about
Craig's
hair.
I can also see like Rachel, like she's never been in an ensemble cast and like she was the star. So maybe she's having trouble like sharing the spotlight. I could see that.
And she also lives in a world of real celebrities. And so now you have all these Bravo celebrities doing like celebrity cosplay. And like one of the weird mindfucks of the weekend is that all the Bravo celebrities suddenly become A-listers. And then all of us, we move up to the level of reality star fame. Mm-hmm. So we are the new D-listers. Mm-hmm. And so, but they get to be the A-listers. But Rachel Zoe's like, but no, I actually interact with A-listers. Like this is not.
Yeah, but she's got to get over that because now she's one of them, And like we were saying the whole weekend, we're like all the Bravo celebrities they're the Beatles for the weekend. Like we were in the VIP at one point on the first day, and Amira from Next Gen came out, and I don't know if you guys had gone in there, but they had basically like maybe like 3 different entrances that people were coming from the green rooms, and they take 3 steps out. And I mean, I'm not kidding when I say mobbed. Like you see people sprinting, and I'm like, what is happening? And then they're just so like they just surrounded her, and then just started chanting, "Next Gen, Next Gen," and I was like, I don't know what to do with this info, And then Amira, who's obviously like, it's her first time at this Bravo. So I'm sure that's her first time on the floor at that point too, because that was on a Friday. I'm like, oh no.
Courtney, at one point, you had like You were helping the next gen people. Like at the one point,
mothering Brooks and Ariana on the creator carpet. They're like, "What do we do?" Like after we had interviewed them, they're like, "So what do we do?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "What do we do on this carpet?" I'm like, "Oh, you just like go to the next room." I'm like, "Do you not have a handler?" They're like, "No." So then I saw them standing. I was like, "Let me get." I felt like I was their mom. Like I was Meredith Marksing it right now. Like, let me take you to someone. Like if you need help, please come to me. So they're like, "Thank you so much." They like couldn't have been nicer. But I felt like very like maternal and like protective over them at one point.
I did too, because we did their panel and I felt the same way. Like some of the questions I just felt mean asking, and then they, you can tell they feel bad. And I'm like, it's okay, honey. Like come here. You just want to like hug them. And it is interesting to see the backstage stuff, how Bravo treats different tiers of their stars. Like
tell us more.
Next Gen is new, so they don't have the handlers. Whereas some of the below deck people who've been there forever have people literally carrying their shoes and carrying their makeup and like, do you want this? Do you want that? And they're like running around them and like, I won't look you in the eye, treating them like they're Jennifer Lopez. And then the Next Gen kids, they're just like, all right, get out there, do your thing. Yeah. It's like your audition or whatever.
Tell me about Charlie. Tell me about Charlie.
Charlie was very aloof. He said something nice backstage. I don't really remember what he said to us. He's like, good job on the. He like complimented us. He's like, you guys did a good job.
And that's a big compliment coming from Charlie. I think if he says good job.
Yeah, he was just doing his Brat Pack from the '80s thing, where he's like, I'm gonna wear sunglasses and I'm above it, and like he sat in his chair like this the whole time. It's like, I'm Charlie. I was like, babe, like.
He's the one that needs the money the most.
You brought up Lindsay Lohan. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was high school." It's like, okay, Charlie, not to be rude, she's a star. Now, I do want to comment that there's a very large age difference between the two of them, but I'm like, use that as your claim to fame. But also, before we start, like, I just also want to just give you guys the biggest props because you hosted your first panel. It was the last one of the weekend. You absolutely killed it. Like the crowd, while people watched that show, the crowd was for you guys. Like everybody there could not have been more excited to see you. Like I heard people talking about it. Like, when is Ben and Ronnie's panel? Like what stage is it at? Like they were so excited to see your success. So I just want to like shout that out. That like you guys,
everyone was so nice to us. We had so much fun at that thing. There were so many people there. It was crazy to walk out and see so many people. And
I'm not kidding. The crowd was for you guys. Like everyone whispering around me was just like, oh my, and they were just so proud of you. Me too. But you know what I mean? Babe. Like everyone was really very happy to see you.
Thank you. We've been getting so much love from like top to bottom, people at Bravo, people in the audience. Random people have messaged us and have been so complimentary. Rachel Roy came right up to us and was like, you guys did such a good job. Congratulations. Oh, you were so wonderful. I was like,
you know what I said? What's your name? And she said, I'm Rachel. I'm Ava's mom. I said, oh my God, you look so different. I said, you're so pretty in real. But it's like you're seeing this model and she just had her hair up in a baseball cap. So I don't recognize anybody out of glam, darling.
Who would be?
At least you didn't say Becky.
I know, because of course that's the first thing. I was like, Becky with the good hair. Oh no.
What would be your dream cast panel for next BravoCon?
Oh, Miami was lit, and Kiki had Miami, and she was like, "Oh my God, you guys!" You could just tell she was like, "Okay, ladies, sit down." I mean, I would have loved that. I think
at
would have
one
made
point,
it crazier.
I was interviewing Kiki and Sonia Morgan kept on coming into the interview and interrupting it. And then Kiki literally started interviewing Sonia for me. Like that is the chaos of the red carpet at BravoCon.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, I
would love Salt Lake City.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, sorry. No. Yeah, go on. I was saying Salt Lake City would be great. I just also want to say like that experience of walking out onto that stage, they actually put us on like the big stage, which was cool. For people who weren't there, there's like the big stage, which is the gold stage. Then there's like the Bravoverse stage, which I don't think I actually went into that room. And then there was like a smaller stage that was in like the bazaar, and they put us on the big one. And we were like, I'd been in that room and I'd seen that room is big, but it's like when you come around that corner and you're up there on the stage and you look out, it's massive. It's like a full-on convention room, and there's just chairs just go. And we've played some nice sized places over the past years, but like this one, it just felt like it just went. It just kept on. It felt like a football field. I was like, oh my God, this is huge. It was crazy, and we had a little earpiece in, and there was a teleprompter. It was It was wild. It was really wild.
Legit.
You
So
really
thank you to everyone who showed
like,
up for
I
us.
saw, like it was just you guys just absolutely killed it. And I think too is having that last panel of the weekend. That's a tough spot to be in, right? Because that's the last spot. People are tired, but the crowd. I still feel. I know you said that you couldn't really hear the crowd that much, but the crowd was like electric for you guys. And to have the last panel,
the crowd was amazing. Yeah, the crowd was really great. The
And
kids
Meredith
were
Mark
so
showed up,
low.
too.
You know, the kids
Yeah,
are
Meredith
just like
Mark showed
they're
up.
all filming a film. You know, where they're like, hey, like they'll answer like this. You know, they're just very natural. And you ask them something, they're like, well, here's how I feel about it. Hey, Brooks, how do you? One of the first questions was something like, so Brooks, do you think you've come more out of your shell this season? He's like, yeah. I'm like, really? Like, I really like
He
him to
actually
come
had
out
a
of my
really
shell.
funny, snarky comment on the panel, and I can't remember what it was, but I was like, "Oh my!" I'm like, "Oh, maybe he really is kind of coming out of his shell." That was like a great.
Yeah, well,
You know, it was my- you know,
he was flaring
my
his
favorite
eyes.
moment.
They were all mad
Yeah.
at Charlie, and he kept flaring his eyes like he was just about to go off. And I kept nodding at him like, "Bring it," you know, because he was looking like he was so pissed, but he wouldn't vocalize whatever he was pissed off about. So I need to get better. Maybe if I have more practice, I'll know how to be like Brooks.
I think
Brooks,
2027,
I see
you guys are going to
flaring
have like
your
5
eyes.
panels. You guys, I think you guys that
That'd be
was the
fun.
audition to do
Well,
more
thanks. Well,
panels. Like you're going to be all
let's-
over it in 2027.
Well, what was really
what were
fun
you
to
gonna
me
say,
was
Ben?
that, towards the end, there's Q&A from the audience, and so the directions they gave us was we would alternate back and forth. Like, Ronnie would say, "Okay, you over there on the left," and I would say, "You over there on the right," something like that. But we'd alternate back and forth. So Ronnie cued someone in the line, and they had this question that was like, what are your favorite spots in the city to eat at? And so then I was supposed to be the next one, and they answered. I don't know if you noticed this, Ronnie. We never talked about this. They trickled out their answer, and every time I thought they were done, another one would say something. So like, and they're so low key. So it'd be like, "Lure, I really like going to Lure," and then there'd be like dead air, and I'm like, "Okay," and then some of Brooks would be like, "I like Pasta House." I'm like, "Okay,"
Yeah.
and I like Spumoni's. Okay, and over the left,
Spumoni's.
I also like Pietro's. It was like this. I was like, you guys, enough. We don't need every single place. And
Right.
you
Yeah.
notice that they just kept on trickling
Yeah.
out these answers, and I kept on stepping on them because I kept on thinking they were done, but they kept on like every single one of them wanted to give like a very quiet answer, and I was like, okay.
So silly.
All right, well, let's talk
It was
about
so
some
funny.
of the gossip that came out of the weekend. Portia, the newest one is that Portia got in trouble on a plane. She got in trouble on her flight back. TMZ has reporters waiting at the gate, I guess, because we see the air marshals escorting her off the plane. And she's, of course, being escorted off just as you think Portia would be. She's like, love you, like waving to fans. And
Unbothered.
we don't know what happened on that plane yet, I don't think. Have you guys heard?
No, but Cara Berry, do you guys follow her? Everybody's business.
Oh, yeah.
Online.
We love her.
Yeah.
She was on Threads yesterday, and she said, "I have some like information about somebody on a flight, and it's not Meredith." And then the Portia, and I'm like, do I need to text her and see? But then I was like, I'm gonna wait. And so when the story came out, she just said, "Told you." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Wow.
god.
Well, why didn't she
She's
tell
shaking
us?
Britney's
Why
seat.
Yeah, she should have told everybody, not giving it to TMZ. Come on, Kara, give us.
But
the
Maybe
tea.
she made money on that.
Yeah, maybe she did tell TMZ, and that's why they got the footage.
Oh, maybe
We don't know.
Oh.
We don't
Okay,
know.
Sorry,
Cara, if it
Kara
was,
made a
guys,
little
don't tell
dollar.
us though. Don't be still
I-
stay a story.
I have to run right now, but I'm so happy I got to chat for just a little bit.
Yeah, we love
and
you, Mary.
I love seeing you guys IRL, and thank you for having me for a bit, but I gotta
Yeah,
run.
we love seeing you, and thanks for coming and spending some time with us. And also, congrats on your baby.
Thank you so
Congrats on the baby.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon, but we're gonna
Okay.
keep Courtney, sucker. See you later. Okay. So the
Finally.
other piece that
Just
was
kidding.
really she's gone. The baby maker's out of here. Thank God. See ya. One thing that I really liked that came out of it was, man, these Bravo viewers, we as a group are messy bitches. All of us are. And someone was videotaping Shep going off in a bar on Craig.
That was at
and
BravoCon.
Paige.
I think it was just straight up at Bravo. It wasn't even at a bar. It was just right there
Oh, I
on the
thought
floor,
it was like
right?
one of those bars in Vegas.
I think he was talking to the Southern Yeah,
It looks like
well, it
the
doesn't even matter.
hospitality people, right? It felt like Bradley was in that. But
Yeah,
you know what's
Bradley's in
crazy?
there.
Because he was bad in 2023, right? And so I'm like, I think people are like, okay, he's like learned his lesson. And then of course he has to close out the weekend doing something ridiculous, right?
He always,
Yes.
Like what's his like he hates there's a ridiculous amount of hate he has for Paige. And it's like, why? Because she chose like Craig over you. I can't figure out why he hates her
Yes.
so much.
You said it.
Okay.
Probably. That's
Well,
probably what it is.
Yeah, I think that's it. And it's also hatred for Craig. He's always resented Craig since the beginning and undermined Craig. And so the fact that Craig I mean, he was going off on both of them, really. He was saying, if you guys haven't seen this video, it's basically him saying, yeah, Paige, broke up with him on a podcast. Who does that? And, it was a sham the whole time. These two were faking it and they got they made millions of dollars. And how many followers did Paige get off of Craig's back? And they were just faking it this whole time to make millions of dollars. I mean, really bitter and really yelling. And everyone was laughing at him. But man, whoever had their phone, I was very proud of them because they held it very stable and they kept it hidden. And my messy queen, whoever it was.
Yeah. It was like, Kara, was that you again?
I know. My theory is that, well, Shep has always been jealous on some degree of Craig's success, but I also think that like Shep sees Craig as someone who fails upwards in life. And I think he sees Craig as this nice guy who kind of lies and is slippery with the truth. And now he got to be with Paige and they got to somehow be designated as like America's sweethearts for like 3 years. And the entire time Shep is like, America's sweetheart, but like there's problems in this relationship and like there's inequities or whatever it is. And then Craig gets this whole glow up, which goes side by side with his Sewing Down South coming up. And, Shep is thinking Craig is just a figurehead. Jerry's doing all the work. And like, you can see that Shep is like, this is all like, there's more to the story than this. And I'm the one who gets to be the bad guy and everyone loves Craig. And he's like loses his mind. And now here he is at the end of a probably a weekend of seeing an enormous Sewing Down South State Farm activation that was there. And Jake with State Farm is there doing Sewing Down South, State Farm. And Shep probably just can only do so much. Also, a new Ken Burns documentary premiered last night. And he probably just was in such an emotional state that he was like, I can't even deal.
Do you find like similarities between Shep and then like Lala with Ariana? Like Shep and Craig, Lala and Ariana. Because I feel like Lala was super
bodysuit.
Well, no, but like the jealousy of like Ariana and having like kind of something similar. Like Craig and Shep kind of live similar lives, and I feel like Shep is kind of why not me? And then like with like Lala and Ariana, it was a little bit for Lala, like, well, why not me with like when it happened to me with Randall?
Oh, she kept missing every boat. That was always the running joke with Lala. She wanted the wedding. Someone else got the wedding. She wanted the pregnancy storyline. Someone else got pregnant first. She wanted the breakup. Someone else had the big breakup. So Lala was always kind of getting stood up on her news.
Yeah.
Speaking of them, we saw Sandoval. I haven't seen Sandoval in years. But we saw him and we were like, hey, I mean, I think it's been 4 years or something since we've seen him, right, Ben?
Yeah, 4 years.
It's been like 4 years. So we saw him and he was like, oh, hey, guys. Yeah, it's much better this time. Like, people are cool because traders, traders gave him the redemption arc. And then he just keeps going and he's like, you should see my shows, bro. We've got like such cool stuff now. Like we've got these video machines and we've got these things called ego risers and they make you look taller. It's like badass. So anyway, what are you guys up to? We're like, oh, we're going to the bazaar. We just like kind of twirled away, but it was funny seeing him.
He was drunk. He was, I mean, he wasn't like a disaster, but like he was just having a good time. He's backstage and just like, he was like, oh my God, I'm no longer, people like me again. I'm celebrating. And he was like, dude, man, somehow he started talking about AI. He's like, dude, if you want to make a lot of money, why don't you invent the thing that like can detect AI? Because like, that's where like the money is. Maybe I'll be the one to invent it, right? And he's like laughing. He's like, maybe it'll be me.
I told him, I said there's an AI detector.
It's like he's a little late, just a little late, Tom, but
yeah, it's like, seriously, they should invent it. We were dying.
What's the drama that happened? Because they're saying that like Lindsay and his girlfriend got in a fight, but when I watched the clip, it looks like Tom and Victoria were fighting and Lindsay was there like trying to break it up, kind of siding with Victoria, like, yeah, I'd be pissed too. But the main thing was that Victoria's not wearing shoes in Vegas. And that's what I took away from it. Yeah. That to me, I was like, no, shoes are needed always. I don't care if you're in socks, you need a pair of shoes, even if it's slippers.
In Vegas,
Yeah,
especially.
someone just told us about that. Actually, someone last night was telling us, yeah, they saw Sandoval and his girlfriend, and she was all dressed to the nines, and they were coming into the celebrity entrance where all the paparazzi waits and all the fans wait, and they scream for everybody as they come in and all this. And so they were coming in there, and Tom tried to do a trick, like by lifting her up and throwing her over his shoulder, and her ass came out of her dress, and so he was like, twirling her lady parts all over, and then
she's like one of the dolls on Traders.
And then everyone was disgusted with her because she was barefoot. So that's what I heard. I just was like, what a Tom Sandoval story.
I mean, he was on, what was it, on the Traders panel that they were like, we've been approached for like the Valley. Do you guys want to see me back on the Valley? And the whole crowd booed. And he's like, okay, that's not how I thought it was going to go.
The biggest boo, as has been widely reported, and I didn't see this, but Jared Osman, when they asked him to stand up at the panel, and apparently like the biggest boos happened when he stood up, which is
I was
good.
there.
I love when the Bravo community comes together.
Well, so then I was with Ryan after that panel because he wanted to get something to eat. We come back in and Jared's standing there, and we're like, when will we see this person again? Next week on SLC, I'm sure, but in person. Yes. So we go up to him, and he's waiting for people he's standing there like waiting for people. So, and we don't tell him who we are or whatever. We're just like, oh my God, Jared, can we get a pic? I saw you guys also got a picture with him too.
Yep.
Did he tell you why he got Brittany the unicorn?
No, but he said Build-A-Bear owes him money.
Yeah,
he's like, Build-A-Bear owes me some money because I've given them a lot of press.
Yeah, so he was like, well, I buy Build-A-Bears for my kids. And I'm like,
oh dear.
Okay. And he's like, so I asked Brittany, has anybody ever gotten you a Build-A-Bear? And she said, no, nobody's ever. It's like, yeah, because you're 54.
Yeah.
Not that you can't have a Build-A-Bear, but you're telling me how you buy your kids Build-A-Bears, and then you're like, well, I must get you a Build-A-Bear. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, Jared, great chat.
Yeah,
it was just.
Brittany got a real gift.
Story, right, Ben? Because we went that night, we saw them out, and Brittany had just said earlier in the day she had done some panels saying, oh, yeah, we're broken up, doing her ding, ding, ding thing. Brittany's just so enamored with herself, which is so funny. But she's like, yeah, guys, I have an announcement. Ding, ding, ding. We are finally broken up. Ha, 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 ha. And that's what she went with. But then that night, we got a picture with them at the Four Seasons. And then Ben made a thing and spread it all around.
I made a video.
Apparently, he called Justin and told Justin, I'm flying to Vegas. And so he wasn't originally there. I guess they were good friends. And then he decided, I want attention. We'll get back together for the weekend.
Yeah.
And do you see her post too? She posted this is just for my subscribers on her public Instagram page that then put it on Threads too. And it was her rubbing Jared's arm and singing. I'm like, this is just you keep me entertained, but your life is chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she is we've mentioned before, seeing her walking around. I mean, this was definitely her moment. She was sort of looking at the tall build, the tall ceilings and this and that. And it was just there was part of me that was very happy for her, sort of child, static mental state, where she was like, wow, it's like those movies when the farm girl goes to the city. So there's part of me that's it's like when country Bette Midler arrives in New York City in big business, and she's like, "Wow, look at that skyscraper!" Or Brittany in everything we've ever seen her in, and I just feel like she's just I don't know. I was happy for her, but I was like, "Man, you're a deluded lady. You're a real."
She's definitely
deluded.
stunted, I believe. There's
a bit stunted.
Yeah, and that's saying something when you're talking about Bravo stars. When you stand out as being stunted, girl. So another big thing that was coming out of the weekend was a fight I never saw coming.
Oh, I love this.
Silva versus Madison from Southern Charm. I was shocked at this one. So apparently they were doing, Madison was doing a panel, and Austin had a picture of Cy over his face where, she had to describe the picture that was over his forehead, and he had to guess it. So what do you call that game?
It's Heads Up or whatever, basically, but with Bravo Lebs.
Yeah, so it was Cy's face, and she's like, oh, I'll tell you, that's the meanest lady I ever met. And Austin was like, oh, yeah, you mean you?
Insane.
And she said, no, it's from New York City. But she said Sai is the meanest person she's ever met. So Sai commented on this clip that was posted, and it says, you must have me confused because not all brown people look alike. I never even met her before. So then Gibson Johns, Gavin.
It's actually Jordy Cray, by the way. Gibson gives him the credit later, but Jordy Cray is the one who found this photo.
And Vanita also, by the way, weighs in and says, before we get to that part,
Jordy Cray.
But Sai de Silva says you mix, you not all brown people look alike, and Vanita goes, well, she's just proving her point, LOL. And I'm assuming what Vanita meant by that was like, Sai, you're proving that Madison is correct. Is that what Vanita meant by that?
So I think what happened was that Jordy Cray then posted a photo of them being on a panel at BravoCon 2 years ago together, like sitting or some Watch What Happens Live or something. And then Madison then like tagged her in something, and then they started going off in the DMs. And then I think, was it Comments by Bravo that picked it up? Somebody picked it up, and then
Comments
that's where
by Bravo. So
here's
the interaction
that comment.
Yeah, so the interaction that they have with Comments on Bravo put out there, which by the way, love Comments by Bravo so much. In this sort of DM that Sai and Madison are having, Sai's like, listen, girl, leave me alone. I don't know you, and I don't remember sitting next to you 2 years ago. And then Madison goes, well, you remember now, bitch.
And then Sai responds, I still couldn't pick you out of a lineup. You're extremely unmemorable. 4 laughing emojis.
Now, to me, I'm like, you guys are both mean girls, so that's fine. But like, also, it's like, Sai, you're not doing yourself any favors here. Like, take the L on this one, and you could just say, oh, I just didn't remember her. Like, I don't know. I feel like she was trying to like make a moment of this, and it backfired in both ways.
People get very offended. There were a few people that we talked to, the Bravo celebrities who were like, well, so-and-so didn't even know who I was on the panel. And that bitch doesn't even know me. And this one doesn't even watch my show. Like, they get so upset that they don't know each other. There's hundreds of you, and a lot of them don't watch, like Below Deck people don't watch Housewives shows. And Housewives shows do not watch Below Deck, Yeah. And so there was a lot of offense taken in there. And I thought that was so funny. They're just like, how dare you not know who I am?
Well, did you see Jesse Solomon shade Vicky Gumbelson?
What did he say?
Who did?
Jesse Solomon from Summer House. So they said something about Vicky getting her orange back, because obviously that was like a big news item of the weekend too, right?
They pretended it was a surprise, but like she obviously had to know about it.
Wait, I thought it was a surprise. I'm so gullible. I was like,
it was not a surprise at all.
Okay, I feel like she's probably called Andy week after week saying, I will sign that contract today. I will sign it today. I will sign it today. And I feel like I don't think she's that good of an actress to be so surprised on stage. Like, maybe she knew it was going to happen at some point.
Well, they have to go through contract negotiations.
I know, when you say it out loud, it makes sense. But like, in my mind, I was like, she's so surprised, Mary. And she's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh. She carried that orange around all weekend.
Okay, Santa is not real, Courtney.
Well, okay, two things now that I've been told that I didn't know. Okay, but but Jesse, I guess, was like, who is she? Like, who is that? It's like, you were literally here because of Vicky.
Yes,
you don't know who
little tadpole. How dare you? Just
Jesse.
Shut your mouth, shut your giant mouth, Jesse. Okay. And also, everybody who ran into Jesse said, "What a douche." They were like, "What a douche." I didn't hear one person say, "Wow, Jesse was so nice." Everybody was like, "Douche."
Well, West just posted something. Let me find it. I was like, "This isn't newsworthy." And then, of course, now I'm like, "Where is it?" But West posted something that he retweeted someone who was like, I don't know, like West is like not spending a lot of time with the fans at all. Like, he's like nowhere. Like, he's just like, he's clearly in it for the celebrity. He's like not backstage. He's not hanging out. He's not the VIP. He's like not in it. So he retweets this and he's like, wow, imagine spending an entire weekend with this like amazing crowd of people, and you're just like with all these people just to fly home, and you read this. I'm like, okay, relax, sir.
Wait,
relax.
I'm on his side, you guys.
No, I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm like 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 he's like, oh, poor me. It's like, once again, the guys on Summer House, they love pulling the poor me card over and over again.
I know,
Like,
but
if
I
you
also
know
was
you
like,
did
he
it,
was
like,
so
just
kind
go
to
on.
me. I saw him and I saw him and I was like, Wes, and they were leaving and they're like, no, he has to go. And I was like, oh, Courtney, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh my God. And he was so nice and like hugged me. He's
Yeah.
like, how are you? Let's take a photo. Like, he was so kind. So I just feel like it's such a bummer. Maybe I just was like lucky to get such good interactions with people, but I just feel bad when it is like, wow, you had like one bad interaction that like changes the whole trajectory of how somebody's going to view you because they didn't
It
see
goes
you when you were
viral.
out there. Yeah. So I don't,
Yeah.
why am I defending them? I don't know. Maybe I'm just
No,
tired.
you don't have to. I wasn't saying that I wasn't saying like, yeah, he was being too cool for school at all. I just thought it was so funny that he was pulling the move on Twitter. I was like, come on, you're a celebrity. You don't pull that move. One thing that I loved, by the way, one of my favorite features of the con is that there's like there's a VIP lounge, and that's different from the backstage area. But there's a VIP lounge where if you have a VIP thing, bracelet, you can go into it. And if you stand outside of that, but the entrance, there was some weird thing where like out of nowhere, a Bravo celebrity would materialize with like 3 handlers, and they would whisk them down the hall to the stage they had to go to. It's like, and you never knew where they appeared from. You just would like turn around and like there was Camille Grammer, and then she would just sort of float by quickly, and they weren't able to stop and talk to people because they had to go to their panels. But it was like every 5 minutes, like one would pop up and then float by, and it was so quick and surreal that you're like, wait, did that just happen?
A wicked
And then-
integration,
yeah, and then like Jake from State Farm was everywhere.
They made that guy work his ass off. Jake from State
And his name is
Farm.
Kevin, I found out.
Oh, really?
It's
Were
not
you
even
allowed to say
Jake. I'm like, what?
Someone Court Ordered Creations is talking about this, and I heard this a lot this weekend too. People were upset because the last BravoCon, they got to meet a lot of the celebrities, because if you go into that VIP lounge, some of them would come out and people would get to talk to them and have a drink with them and stuff. And this time they were all hidden pretty much. So people felt like they paid for that experience and didn't get to talk to them. But I'm wondering if that's just because it got so out of hand. Because the last time I was there because Patricia, the only reason I went last time is because Patricia from Southern Charm was like, I need an escort because the person who was going to go with me isn't going to go, and I just need someone to kind of walk me around a couple times or whatever. And so I was like, of course, So I went with her, and being with her, I saw people. I mean, she was sitting on a couch, and Adriana was on the other couch. So I was talking to Adriana, and someone else was talking to her. When I tell you, and they had security guards surrounding them. When I tell you, people crawled over those couches. They were crawling over them. They were like, wait, they would like try to distract the security guard and then get around him. I'm like, well, what are you going to do, jumper? Are you going to jump on Patricia? Like, what do you think is going to happen? So I don't know if that's why, like, they were keeping them more sequestered. But yeah, people were complaining about that a lot. this weekend.
Yeah. It's also hard. The logistics of that space are really difficult. Like just getting there and there was this rainstorm. I didn't know it could rain in Vegas. And that Saturday we didn't even bother going down to the con because it's so hard to get in and out of there. Like you'd think that when they built that convention center that they would make some sort of consideration for like how people would arrive to it. And it's like impossible and so gridlocked. It's crazy. And that's definitely one of my takeaways is like dealing with the logistics of that place because it was wild. Also, it was the most stressful part of the weekend for me were the bracelets that they gave us because they're not these like plastic ones that you get like at a music fair. It's like they're these they're like ribbons and they have a little plastic thing, and if you can tighten them, but you can't loosen them, and like once you tighten it, there's no going back. And like I initially tightened it like I was like whoop. And then I was like, oh shit, I can't untighten it. And it was like stuck
Claustrophobic.
to me all weekend. And this morning I finally was able to find someone with scissors like, get this thing off of me, please.
Look at
I've been
mine.
showering with
I
it.
still have
Is
mine.
yours still on?
I tried taking mine off last night at dinner with the steak knife. Do you see it's all
Yes,
right?
it is so scary.
I've looked ridiculous and janky all day, but I didn't get it. And then I came home and I was so tired I didn't even bother cutting it. I just slept with it. But this Vicky thing, just going back to this Vicky thing really quick, you've got a show that just had a huge scandal with somebody getting caught with all these transphobic, homophobic, and basically horrible rape. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we'll go into it again on the recap. And then you bring back Vicky Gunvalson. Are you paying attention? Who is driving the car?
I mean, I know. I feel very like after she said like Heather doesn't fit in the cast because she's too liberal because she's like an ally to the LGBTQIA community. I'm like, okay, now I don't really want you back. But then also if I'm like, okay, if I'm going to look at you as a character, because that's what I have to do to like try to separate the art from the artist, if you will, Vicky has to come back in some capacity for the 20th season. And I think it should just be hosting a party in her backyard in the grotto where someone gives her an award for being the OG of the OC and then she falls down those stairs again. Like, and then scene cut. That's it. But
yeah, I mean, why would you bring back such a bigoted monster? I mean, the woman is a nutcase and she's a terrible human being. I can't believe they're bringing her back for this show's in enough trouble. You guys need to do some fixing. And now they're out on the red carpet and Gretchen's out there like, yeah, everybody knew those tweets were a lie because people who knows me know that I'm the biggest supporter of gay and lesbian people. And listen, I had the first drag queen ever on a housewife show. Listen, we are not your freaking monkeys and pinatas at a child's birthday party. Like bringing a drag queen to a birthday party does not mean pro-gay rights, you fucking nutcase. I can't believe people are falling for her.
You get a pass for 20 years now because you had that in 2009. So it's coming up on the renewal.
How was she not booed off of the BravoCon stage? I can't believe she was there and everybody's like fine with whitewashing all of this, but whatever. Have fun, Vicky. I'm going to have fun with you back.
Yeah.
Evil eyes.
Speaking of Orange County, Shane Simpson, did you talk about this? How Shane Simpson came right up to us? Shane Simpson walked right up to us, and he put out his hand, and he goes, hey guys, I just have to say you guys are so funny. What you guys say, you guys are so good. I was like, because I was trying to avoid.
Did you have an avoidance list?
Emily and Gina, I was avoiding only because I was just on Gibson's podcast, and I had done my new shtick right now is to say, hey, it's been 7 or 8 years, and Emily and Gina have not had a single memorable, iconic, gifable moment, and this is an issue. And I've said it on Crappens before, but I said it on Gibson's, and he made a clip of it, and it's been going around. And so I was like, oh God. I basically am saying like they should be fired, and like who wants, like I don't, like this is people's employment, and now like I don't want to have to come face to face with someone and be like, oh my God, I said you should be fired from your job.
Well, we say it every week. I mean, the last recap was like, screw these people, I hate them, get rid of them, these bigoted idiots.
I know.
Fuck them, fuck Emily, fuck Gina, fire them. And so he goes, hey Emily, come over here. And Emily's like, standing there. She's like, hey. She goes, oh God, should I hit you? Should I slap you? And I was like, I wouldn't blame you if you did. And she's like, well, I mean, I get it. I mean, I've listened to it. I mean, I get it. Whatever. You don't like me. Fine. And I was like, well, you know, we just comment on the show, but nothing personal, you know.
She was actually cool. Shane was like a fan. He's like, you guys are so funny. You guys are just so funny. Like, just keep like, I'm so impressed with you guys. He was actually so effusive. And he was like, great job, you guys. I'm so impressed with what the work that you guys do. That is so good. And I was like, this is not what I was expecting at all.
But that was most of our interactions this weekend. Was like, okay, I've heard it. No, you hate me, but so fun stuff, you know.
Like you said, don't listen. Don't listen.
Don't listen. It's not for you. And that's we can't just come back and be like, oh, we met, you know, Emily at a buffet, so we have to be nice now. You know, I was like, oh God, this is gonna.
Is that where you really met her, Ronnie?
Literally at a buffet.
Yeah, literally at the buffet. We were at the buffet, the backstage buffet.
Oh, I thought you were making a mean joke.
No, we were there. We were there.
I'm not being mean.
It was more of a salad bar. Wait, to be fair, it was more of like a salad bar. So we were walking there, and they came up. And I want to clarify one thing briefly. Something I said on Kiki and Dorinda's show, which is I was talking about how Abe the Babe called me a fucking asshole. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to lose sleep if he calls me a fucking asshole. I kind of feel like what I didn't really express properly was that like it was a totally like funny interaction, and that it was like he busted my balls And like it was like a bro, it was like he sort of got it out. This little bit, he was busting my ball, but he was sort of getting something out. But like it was fine, and it was like ended with laughter, and it was like a good interaction. And he's like, I get
And
what
what
you
else
guys
are you
do.
going to say to us? What else are you going to say to us?
Because people were
because
I'm saying because people were saying like Abe called Ben a fucking asshole, and I want to be like, whoa, it wasn't like deep like that, you know.
No, well, I went up to
make sure.
Tamara too and said, I was like, hey, and she was like, motherfucker, hey, bitch, and then was totally, but you got to give them at least one motherfucker to get out of their system. But actually, overall, it was a really, go ahead.
No, I was going to say about Tamara is that what's so funny is that her makeup girl was like, I listen to every single one of your episodes. You guys are so funny. I love when you guys do Tamara's voice. And so like someone really close in Tamara's orbit knows every single shitty thing we say about her, but like Tamara's like, whatever. She loves being.
No, she's got eyes on everyone. That Tamara Judge, eyes on everyone. She knows what's happening all at all times. Like every account, every podcast. Like we were blocked. She's unblocked us now. I was afraid I was going to run into her at BravoCon. I didn't. That was one I was like, oh God, I'm a little scared about that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She frightens me because then I also am like, would I actually like her though? Like when you meet everybody, they really are so lovely. And so like, I feel like when you're talking to them, you're like, okay, now I'm like, I just want you to know my opinion of you on the show is not going to change. Like how you act on the show, I'm still going to be discussing, but you're a very lovely human being. And thank you for the nice conversation.
Well, I've always said the ones that I'm meanest to are probably the ones I would get along best with in real life. Like Kyle makes me crazy on Beverly Hills. She's always made me crazy. She triggers me. There's something she does every year and every year I start fresh, but it's like, that's my biggest one that she just makes me nuts. But I'd probably get along with her great. It's just it's like the throwing your family under the bus. It's everything all the time with her. It's a fakery of like queer baiting for 2 years. I mean, it's just the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But I'd probably get along with her great. She seems like a really fun girl. And Tamara seems like a really fun girl. She's made me crazy for years too. So who knows?
I talked to
guys
Janet.
from Southern Charm. The guys from Southern Charm on that show, I rip them to shreds. They make me nuts. And I think they're great in real life. They're all really nice in real life. Well, I don't know Shep, but Austin and Craig are really nice in real life.
I had a really fun conversation with Janet. I went up to her and I was like, I really enjoy you as like a very plain villain. And she's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really enjoy being just like a basic villain. But
that's funny.
Ronnie, Nick says, did you guys get to meet any of the McBee boys?
Oh my God. How did I not talk about that? Okay. So we were at a party. We're not supposed to talk. Well, nothing really deep happened there, but I saw them.
Yeah.
Galena came right up to us and was, go ahead.
No, I was just going to explain to everyone. It was supposed to be like an off the record party. So it's like everything was like sphere of safety. But this was not a gossipy moment. This was just like, we saw someone.
Yeah, no, it wasn't gossipy. So Galena came right up to us. And I love Galena. I love Galena. And she looked beautiful. She was in like a full Russian beauty queen glitter dress, So I talked to her a little while and I saw the boys because they're not very subtle. I mean, the boys, they were in these colored suits. They all had a different colored suit on. And then they wore big, wide-brimmed cowboy hats, really nice cowboy hats. And they weren't really, the Bravo people ignored them. Like the other people on Bravo just didn't really pay attention to them. They stood at one table kind of towards the front door the whole time. And no one really talked to them. And that I saw because I watched them the whole night because I love Jesse McBee. And so Bitch Sesh was there, Danielle and Casey, who are really lovely ladies. So Casey was like, oh my God, the McBee boys, I'm a stan. And I was like, we're the only stans here. Let's go get them. So we went over there and like an idiot, I said, Casey, you do it with your phone. Because I didn't want people to be juggling phones, and I still need to get that picture from her. I should have made her do it with my phone. But we got a picture with Jesse McBee. He's so cute.
Someone
literally so cute.
Someone told me, maybe it was you, Courtney. Someone over the course of the weekend said that there was some sort of like some event where they said that when the McBees walked in, they got like the loudest ovation out of everyone. Like there was something where the cheers were like
so I'm
off
listening.
the charts. Yeah, it was
at
off the
BravoCon?
charts. And I was like, at BravoCon, there was something where they walked into something. I don't know if it was the panel or if it was like a Bravo Palooza, a fan thing. They walked into something and they got the biggest cheers out of everyone. And I just went, no, that means 10 years of McBee. Oh my God, McBee Dynasty is with us for 10 years now. And we're going to get spin-offs. And we're going to see what that twit is doing down in Texas with her friends. I don't even remember her name.
No,
Kayla,
he's got a new
Kaywol.
girlfriend now, so she's gone. And the new girlfriend looks exactly like her.
Oh
Was
yeah,
it Kayla?
a
Kala?
gorgeous Kala.
Kala,
Yeah, and
beautiful
I've got a new.
blonde.
Steve's got a new girlfriend, so don't worry. I don't think we'll be going to Dallas.
I mean,
The amount of
I-
hate you have for the show is I'm like obsessed with it because the fact that you still will watch every episode and do a recap.
I will probably start to like it. My trajectory is a lot of times when I hate something very passionately, I somehow start to love it. And I hate that might happen with me with McBee's. And what I've always said is, it's not that it's about farmers. It's just that it's like, I think it's just like a really shitty, like poorly produced show. To me, it's like A&E drivel. And I just think that like if Bravo could like make it nice, then I could probably get into it. But like right now, I'm like, I have to keep my high Bravo standards, okay? Because as goes Bravo, so goes the rest of this country. And like the Bravo's the last thing standing, I think, between us and a civilized nation. And so we need to preserve it, okay? We need to have the Bravo standards have to apply to every show. No exceptions.
They need truly original over there. Whoever does Salt Lake City, get on the McBee's too.
Please.
Yeah.
Please do that.
All right. So, God, this has been an hour. Usually we stop this to talk, but we've gone to chat with people here in the waiting room or whatever, but we have chatted so long. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. We love you, Courtney.
I could talk for hours, so
I know, there's
thanks
still
for
so much
cutting
to
me
talk
off.
about. It's amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is such a fun weekend. Thanks for having me on. You guys never stop working. Are you like the hardest working guys in Bravo?
No, I think Ryan Bailey is probably the hardest working. Did you
Riley-
see that guy? He was all
drove home
and
last
Danny
night.
Pellegrino too. Danny Pellegrino did like 5 panels.
Michelle
or something.
Collins
that
did, like,
guy's
10.
all over. Yeah,
Yeah,
Michelle
I
did I
mean,
think 7.
Everybody was
Yeah.
fantastic, but Ryan drove home last night from Vegas to be on Jeff Lewis this morning.
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
wild.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Jeff Lewis had a really controversial week too at the
did.
weekend. Oh my gosh, he got in trouble left and right over
Peacock
there.
viewers will not see what happened because they cut that from his panel. We watched it the other day.
Oh,
And
really?
About the
he made a
snap.
comment about SNAP benefits with Monica Garcia. And
Yeah, he said something like, whatever with that girl. Didn't she get her SNAP benefits cut off? Yeesh.
yeah. And
Yikes.
I watched that panel and like I like Jeff Lewis for being snarky. See, look at me. I'm going to talk about it. But like I like him being snarky, but I felt like he was just being mean. It was like a little just too much. And now it seems like he's also kind of like blaming Andy for it, which is crazy because like you have this show that's going to be coming on Bravo. And instead of like apologizing and being like, look, I shouldn't have said that, whatever, he's like doubling down on it. It just, which
yeah,
then
he's a
also
double
feels very
downer.
Jeff, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
it's Vegas, you got to double down. So
you really
And
do.
Now we all
yeah,
now we all know the show's coming back though.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't feel like he was supposed to announce that either.
did they
was
not
it-
make an
it wasn't
official
an
flipping
official?
out announcement?
I didn't I mean, Andy confirmed it when Jeff said it, but I didn't see anything like we got Rhode Island, we got a trailer, we got a post about that. I don't recall seeing anything about Jeff's show. So correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, but I don't remember seeing anything about it after that was confirmed.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he got
wild.
in trouble.
Yeah, he
Which
got in
isn't
tr- he got in
shocking.
a lot
It's
of
like, wow,
trouble.
Jeff Lewis got in trouble. Shocker.
Wait, can we give a shout out also to Margaret Josephs, because Margaret Josephs held I think the best party of the weekend. Like her party was great. She had a great party on Thursday night. She had a giant bowl of caviar. She had a photo booth. She had booze. I mean, of course, the best party beyond the Watcher Crappens party that we threw.
I know you haven't
course,
even I feel like
actually.
you guys need to have like a minute or two where you just talk about that.
Well, that was great. I mean, that was just it was a lovely time. Like everyone, like we thought we were going to get 100 people and it was just jam packed. And we estimated it was like over 300 people, but I mean, who knows? But it was just so fun. Everyone came in and there was ice cream, Jenny's ice cream. Shout out Jenny's ice cream for hooking us up with all that free ice cream. They were so great to do that, and Beer Park accommodated everyone. That was amazing. That was really, really great. And because there's nothing to do after the final like nighttime, taping happens, there's nothing to do for people. So we were like, let's have a party and like, let's have people come over. So it was awesome that so many people showed up. Thank you to everyone who came by. We know it was like rainy and humid, and it was probably super annoying for some people to make that schlep, but we really appreciate you coming to that. But also shout out to
it was super
who
great.
Invited all of us to her party.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And you guys all coming to that and coming here to talk to us, and Courtney, you being our friend, hanging out with us and talking to us here. Thank you so much. Follow Two Judgy Girls. I'm sure you guys already all are. Check out their podcast, and we will be back next time. Next time we'll do an extra long Q&A session with you guys to make up for what we missed tonight. But we sure love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.